What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Blue River Bow Hunting Podcast, episode 119. It's going to be a little different than our normal podcast. We're going to lay out the details to Dylan's Hunt the Help down in Tennessee that we got coming up this fall. And we got our buddy Ron Hollywood Howard with us tonight to iron out some of these details. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, fellas?
Excited, buddy. Another night behind the mic.
Yep. I hear that. I'm glad to be back on with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad you were able to jump on with us tonight. And I'm sure I'll say it more than once tonight, but we definitely appreciate everything that you've been doing to not only support us, support our channel, support Dylan's new channel, the podcast, and then this Hunt to Help, man. You've been more than a friend to us, man, for sure,
man, for sure.
Yeah, Uncle Ron coming in clutch, as always.
There you go.
So, Dylan, just lay the ground rules. What is Hunt to Help? How you thought of it? Just lay it all on us.
So, I stay thinking of new ways to kind of make these old school hunt camps or make something, come back around that we can do something, be a part of, and make a difference. And I've noticed a little bit of, need in this community. Obviously with kids going into Christmas time, Thanksgiving, you notice more things. And, I've just noticed, some kids aren't as fortunate as others. So I kind of wanted to, I thought about it and I was like, well, how can I help those situations? And, meat, if you can donate meat that you harvest to these families, meat's expensive. If we can give them 60, 70 pounds of meat, going into Thanksgiving, Christmas time, that's going to make a big difference to families. Sure. And it's great meat. You know where it's coming from. For it's sure. Not got all the additives, all that stuff. So this kind of stemmed from that, just wanting to be able to help. But let's incorporate all the friends, all the guys, gives us a reason to come together, gives us a reason to hunt, gives us something to look forward to. Because it's bigger than us at that point. So I kind of had this ideal, bounce it off you, Uncle Ron, and then I took it, to other places. I wanted to get feedback on it. I was getting great feedback. I had companies jumping on instantly, like, hey, because originally what I was going to do is I was going to go buy some prizes, and then I was going to do like, a prize for the biggest buck, a prize for biggest doe, first deer down. I was going to buy something from the companies that I represent and that I work for. I was just going to buy something and do the prizes that way. Each of those companies, I pitched the idea. I was like, hey, I'm going to put, I want you guys to be a part of this. I'm going to do this. And he's like, no, you're not. We're going to send you something. We want to help. We want to contribute. So huge shout out to all those companies. We'll get into that because Uncle Ron was a big part of all of that. I took companies that aren't even hunting related are stepping up in this community. I was scheming up ways to make this, go off without a hitch. And the only way that I can guarantee that this meat gets directly to a family is if I do it myself, right? So I'm going to pay for 3 deer to get processed to go to 3 different families. Southern Made Construction is going to pay for a few. He's not told me how many yet. County Line Tire and Brake, he's going to pay for 3. Elite Racing Supplies, they're going to pay for some. So some families want the complete deer. They want to come here, pick up the deer, take it home, and process it themselves. Some families may not have the know-how or the means to do that, so that's where that's going to come in handy. Well, I'll take the deer, drop them off, go pick them up, and then hand deliver it to the families.
So what you're saying is we got to kill some major deer while we're down there.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that, like 12 deer that you just said off what people will already pay for the processing fees. So all this is on public land, correct?
It's whatever you can hunt. If you can come down here, Ron, if you wanted to go and hunt Crossville, you could come hunt Crossville and make it up here. If you wanted to come down here and take off on the boat, that's perfectly fine. We've got guys hunting the Chattanooga area. They ain't going to come up. It's whatever. And there's a ton of people, we've made a Facebook Messenger thing. So we've got stuff going in there. So TVA, public, whatever you want to hunt, you don't have to come here, hunt and donate your deer. If you want to take the meat, if you kill an absolute stud, you want to have him taped out and keep the meat, that's perfectly fine. Please still come, hang out, whatever. It's, nobody is forced to, you don't have to donate a deer to get through the gate. It's pretty much what I'm
Right.
saying. Now, with that being said, I am going to have all the equipment on hand to process deer because I know we have guys coming from out of state. Brett, if you come down here and you kill a stud and you want to take your meat home, I'm going to have the hoist, vacuum sealer, lights, little generator. That way we can process it, cape it out, whatever we need to do to get you legal back across the state line.
Right. I'm looking forward to this for sure. Cause I mean, the reason why we're putting a podcast out about this, we can only reach so many people through socials, word of mouth, that sort of thing. So we know that we have quite a good listening audience, a base listening audience for this. And if you're listening to this, you're probably a bow hunter. So come down to Tennessee, do some bow hunting with us. Take some does out. You never know. You may come down thinking, man, I'll just shoot a dove and donate and be a part of it. And you shoot a giant,
Yeah.
like you never know what can happen. It's still hunting. And you may not even be familiar with the area. Get with Dylan, get with me or Ron
Yeah.
or somebody, and we'll send you some pins and set you up. Probably not going to send you a pin to close where I'm at, but
Yeah.
I'll put you in the right area. That's
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got the weekend ironed out. I've been getting a ton of messages. I never thought that it was going to snowball like it has, as far as just people wanting to be a part and asking the details. And I finally had to make a video about it because I wasn't for sure all the details. We're still working on them, and we'll post a video of an update, and then boom, we get some more sponsors, or like something else happens, and we're trying to navigate this and keep everybody is up to date because traveling to hunt is not an easy task. So you have to have lodging, all that good stuff. So we're trying to be as on the forefront of it that we can, as far as making sure everybody has adequate amount of time to plan. So it's going to be held at one of my farms. I'm not exactly sure which farm we will be having everybody show up to. But it'll either be in the Gibbs Maynardville area. Luckily, all my farms are within 20 minutes of each other, so it's not like it would change anything.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like boundaries, I mean, you can hunt whatever, wherever you're at, and come in as long as it's with the CWD laws, with the crossing state lines and stuff, or county lines and stuff like that. But um, I mean, the prizes we're going to do, like I said, one for the biggest buck, um, one for the biggest doe, and we'll do that by weight, and then we're going to do one for the first deer recorded down. So if you was to shoot one at say 755, the first one to recover the deer and put it in the messenger is the winner of that prize. Then if you come and you kill a deer and you donate one, or you cut it up and donate it to somebody, then you're entered in for the raffle. And we're going to raffle stuff off. I'm not sure if we're going to do raffles or if we're going to do like the tickets. That's something that we've not even got to, but we do know that there will be enough prizes to raffle stuff off just for attending and participating in this. So Uncle Ron, you've worked hard on snagging some. You took off because this is the core three here that's kind of put this together. Yeah. And Ron was like, "I got you, man," and he was texting me back, "Boom, boom, got," and that just shows that he wants to help. He wants to help families, and he has no, he had no obligation to jump up and help like he has, but it has been tremendous.
Yeah, for sure. Well, when you posted this idea, and I just was on board right away. Obviously I'm up in Michigan. I'm going to make the trip down for sure. My heart's still down there, trying to get back down there. I know you keep sending me pins for property for sale, but yeah, when you presented this idea to us, man, I was all in. And I think as soon as we hung up the phone, I had ideas. I've got a few connections, nothing special. Some bigger companies, some smaller companies, but real good folks that I knew were into that idea, and that would probably be interested in hopping on board to support a cause like this, man. It's about the meat for sure, the needy families, but after our Tennessee turkey roundup, it's really about getting like-minded outdoorsmen together and just telling stories, breaking bread, watching the logs burn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just brings everybody together, takes it back to that old school kind of feel. You know what I'm saying? Don't have to really worry about how big it was, what it scored. We're all in it. We're all in it for the same reason, and I really like this idea, man. So I hope it just continues to take off.
Yeah, and it's looking promising. As of right now, I know the bow hunting league's going to field 20 spots for this. And then I think in our group chat, which not everybody is, confirmed nor declined, but there's still people being added, and it's at like 25 plus.
Nice.
So it's
I
growing.
think I think one of the things I'm looking forward to the most, and it really every camp I feel like I go to, turkey, deer, fishing, whatever. I just love, especially in that content creator space. I love collabing with people. You
Sure.
know what I mean, and putting
Absolutely.
videos together, and we can all do, TikToks or what, being stupid and being silly, but
Sure.
showing people, hey, this is old school camp. We're sitting
Mhm.
around campfire. We just made the hottest
Yeah.
seafood boil ever recorded, but I just love that camp feel, and I wouldn't even have to buy a license, and I would still come down.
Sure.
I already had it, so it didn't matter. But I would probably just come down to help out, cut up deer, or, help people drag one out. That's going to be another thing that's going to be a blast, because like
Mhm.
when I held that public land deer camp a few years ago, that was one of the things that blew me away. Guy killed my buddy Jeremy. He killed a really nice buck, and it was like 4 miles deep. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna suck. Like I've told the story on here before. Hit our group chat with the location. 10, 15 people showed up to drag this
Yeah.
deer out, and I'm like, this is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Everybody showed up and showed out, to help a brother out, and just I enjoy that sort of thing. I could be behind a camera. I could be. I mean,
Oh,
it
for
doesn't
sure.
matter. I just
Yeah.
love being hunting and being with other guys and having a good time doing it.
Yeah, and this, you guys know how I am about the roundup. I wean out the people who aren't in it as a collective group. Like everybody who was here Friday night before opening day, it was call me when you shoot one. Like I hope everybody else gets one. And that's kind of what this round or the hunt to help is going to be. It's taking all these people. They're rooting for you just as much as they are themselves.
Yeah.
And they're really hoping that everybody comes together and there's no like the group of guys we have built and the group of guys that we continue to stack and get here. um I mean, everybody's rooting for everybody. Everybody's like, and I know what it's going to be. There's going to be guys that come down, maybe that Thursday, Friday and scout, and they hit 2 or 3 spots, and they're, hey Brett, I seen deer here. I'm hunting this spot, but I seen deer here. Like I seen
Right.
them Thursday, but I'm hunting this spot. And that's kind of the collaboration and the growth that we want as far as like big groups, because I've already, some of these guys have reached out and was like, hey, I'm considering seeing how this goes with you and potentially holding one myself. And I'm like, that would be awesome.
Awesome.
Could you imagine if next year we threw together a tour to where we're going around to, we hit Indiana, donate some deer,
That's what I
and
was getting ready to say. I've
we hit
already
Michigan and travel, and we create
Yeah.
something that is widespread. And people are like, oh well, it's not that. It is that big of a deal if you get
It
that
is.
many people together
Sure.
and you're helping people. That's families that could, root for you to come out like, well, these guys help, and these people may just have fallen on hard times, or love deer meat and their dad passed away so they can't hunt. So you just don't know what something so simple can progress into somebody's life.
Yeah, not to steal your thunder by any means, but that was already a thought process I had.
Mhm.
Was I want to see how this goes, and if it's something that's a home run, I may do the same exact thing. Maybe not necessarily on public land, but just like local people here, because there's a crap load of deer hunters here where I'm at in Indiana, and with being good friends with I am from the Knightstown Meat Locker, I could get some stuff set up through some different companies and whatnot, and potentially just do the same thing.
Mhm.
Kind of skip that process that you were talking about and hand it directly out to families that
Yep.
want it, need it. I mean, I know there's probably tons of families that need it, and like you said, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays coming up. Who wouldn't want like a elk backstrap in the
Yeah.
crock pot for
For sure.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
It sounds delicious right now.
Yeah. So that's just something that I have collectively heard, and people are interested in. Um, I just can't believe how many people are so quick to, okay, yeah, I'll you know I want to help. I want to come hunt. I want to come spend my money to give meat away.
Sure.
Like it costs us money to hunt, and it costs money to do, land management and habitat control. So, if a guy's going to come in here spend $300 on a license, spend food in the local economy, or spend money on food in the local economy, and then turn around and, get a cabin at Big Ridge or rent an Airbnb, he's going to be out a couple $100 and he's still donating it. That goes to show you the type of guys we're trying to,
Right.
bring in here, because it's not about them or what. They're not saying, well, I have to spend so much money, I'm keeping the first deer and I'll kill another. They just want to come and do it. And that speaks volumes.
That too, and like usually in a camp setting, just like we did for the turkey roundup, everybody was kind of responsible for an ingredient that went into the seafood boil. And I know you guys, like me, like when I go to a deer camp or something, I got a whole cooler full of deer meat or snack sticks or jerky or whatever. It could be that sort of thing, and we have 5 or 6 people bring grills. We're just over there grilling like villains, you know what I mean? Like, have a heck of a menu, and then maybe a few other people come and be like, hey, we need some sides. That's where that Facebook Messenger group comes into play. If you're interested in this, get with us. We'll put you in it. And if you just want to come for the night and check everything out and bring a side of potato salad or something, that stuff goes a long way, and it's an incredible way to network with people too. We haven't really even covered that. I mean, a little bit with the collab stuff, but you never know. You meet a guy he came from Ohio to come do it, and then it's like, hey man, I got some some pins and some places that we could probably hit. Come over in a week or something, check it out. Stuff like that comes from these kind of events all the time.
That's the greatest thing about collabing, man. People don't really, on one hand, we got the part of the industry like we're trying to present, but then on the other hand, we got the ugly side, right? Where everybody's trying to get all they can all they get and sitting on the lid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where these collabs, though, what people are missing out on is opportunities, man, at friendships, like lifelong friendship. Me, you guys, most of my hunting relationships have been from collabing. Going all the way back to Vic 5 years ago, and look what that's turned into. We can talk about that a little bit more when we talk about bear hunting. But I met Brett collabing with you guys up there with the Mid-State guys, like this turkey roundup. Your buddy Jordan, man, dude, he hits me up all the time to trout fish, wishing me happy Father's Day. Like that stuff doesn't just naturally happen if you don't put yourself into these collab situations and just really getting to know people and just just enjoying people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
you hang around a fire like what we have at the roundup, and there's no guards up. It is just everybody's talking. You had conversations about hunting. You had conversations about religion. You had conversations about life. You had conversations about, I just needed something to do. I was going stir crazy. We had people pulling up that I had just met through social media. That's, hey man, what do you think about this? Looking for advice. Hey man, come up here. We had a guy pull in, and I was like, I don't know who that is. And you guys were like, I don't know. Then we realized who it was, but like none of us had ever really met him. It was just all through kind words and rooting for each other. And you meet guys like that, and it's just genuine. He didn't even turkey hunt. There's guys who come here that didn't even turkey hunt. They just come for the hangout, and they're like, man, that is awesome. And the turkey hunt is a little different because you're wide open, but the deer hunting, camera guys. Kurt's bringing his camera guy. I know 2 or 3 other guys that are bringing designated camera guys. So it's not like everybody's going to show up that's just been hunting. Like you've got camera guys, you've got editors, you've got, people who don't even deer hunt going to come in and hunt deer just because of what we're doing it for, So it's just really cool. And like I said, what we're doing is really cool, but the relationships you walk away from, you're going to walk away from this with not only opportunity to go and travel and get the leg up on hunting, whether it be private, public, whatever it may be. But, if I called Ron, I was like, hey man, I never hunted Michigan. I want to give it a try. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah. Boom. Brett's the same way. And and that's what we're trying to be like Jordan. Jordan, he's been a buddy of mine for a long time, but he's very reserved and he's very to himself. And I was like, dude, I know you don't like crowds, but you just come to the roundup. I promise. And then look, he said he loves everybody he met. Like he absolutely loves everybody, and he's so glad he came because he's got those relationships. And he calls me probably at least 4 times a week, and he's like, "Hey man, gotta get Uncle Ron down here to go trout fishing." He said, "I'm on him."
Hey,
You
man.
know, he's like, "You think he would travel trout?" I was like, "I know he
Oh,
would."
yeah.
I
He already
know he
sent me.
would.
He already sent me a list of what to buy. I said, "Tell me what to buy. I'll buy it and come on down." So it's
Yeah,
gonna
and it's
happen.
just
Trust me.
I mean, you
And
just get those relationships, and
yeah,
you can't get those. You know, like you guys had never spoke before this, right? So like you didn't even have
yeah.
like any premeditated meetings or
Nope.
No.
conversations, and then that's how awesome these are because you
Yeah.
just genuine people. Everybody meshes. Everybody, gives everybody a hard time.
Yeah.
I
For
know we
sure.
was on Ron's ass that night, giving him such a hard time, and so
But
it's just
that's
fun,
another angle. That's another angle. You said, is that somebody that probably needed a little bit of a step away from life in
Reset.
For
a
sure.
mental mind cage, and just if you could tell that he needed it. It's like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
man, I could tell he's living. I mean, it was so, I feel bad for the guy because he got out. He's the only person to kill a bird in camp. First bird, double beard, and we were instantly messing with him. So nobody
Yeah.
said anything when
Yeah.
he got out of the truck. He's like, "Man, it's dead around here." Then we're like, "Ah, let's see it, man." Bye,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it's just cool to see that for sure. Dates, you got exact dates for this?
What is it? The 17th and 18th?
It's the weekend.
Let me look.
I believe that Saturday is the
October
18th.
18th. So
Yes.
be that night, October 18th that night. And let me, while I've got my phone up here, let me run through a couple of the companies. I'm going to read all of them off, and then I'm going to let you guys kind of take
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
explain the ones you guys picked up. So Drake Waterfowl, obviously. Todd was not hesitant at all to jump on board.
Awesome.
Woodhaven Custom Calls, Isaac Pentecost, Class Act. He's all about it. Fourth Arrow, B&B Custom Calls, The Boutique, Elite Petroleum, Southern Made Construction, The Pipe Doctor, Exact Archery, The Scrape Doctor, Habitat Thrive, myself, Blue River Bow Hunting,
Mm-hmm.
Carbon Synergy, Crimson Trail. All these things are going to be sponsors for this to make this something. Ron's making you're making something, correct?
Yeah, so I have a kind of a company, I guess you could call it. It's called Rustic Fireman. I'm a retired firefighter, so shameless plug. It's June. We've been talking a lot about the guys coming, need to get away at that time. It's June, Men's Mental Health Month. Take care of yourself, men. So one thing I really started doing, really to occupy my mind, as I started doing woodwork. It helps me. I stay out in the garage hours on end, and I just build stuff. I really got into building these rustic flags. The first one went out to my little brother, who's currently still serving in the Army. I make turkey plaques. I try to make just about anything. I made that
Yeah,
turkey art
there's
frame
one
work.
down there on the
There's
end.
one in your background. So I'm going to donate. Probably I will be for sure doing a flag and a turkey mount plaque. So yeah, that's a little bit I can do to give back. These guys are sacrificing time, money, like you said, to come in and help needy families out. So I personally will be donating those two.
Talk
things.
about the other companies that you got. I know he listed a few of them, but what they're going to be bringing to the table?
Sure,
Kind
yeah,
of give
real
people.
quick. So the boutique, our buddy over there, Michael Stonebreaker, he's kind enough. He's going to be donating a dozen arrows. He found an arrow company. He'll be supplying the arrow with some custom wraps. They'll be ready to go. Whoever wins them, they'll be full length. Just have to have them cut down. Good friends with the folks over at Fourth Arrow. Joe Coy's donated a little gift box. Through a few things from the different companies that they have into a gift box. We'll be giving that away. The Scrape Doctor, a good friend of mine. He's a Michigan small company up here. The Scrape Doctor, he's going to pretty big
Yeah.
prize he's giving away. It's all kinds of stuff to make mock scrapes and things of that nature. Another company I've been using for a while, it's called Carbon Synergy. I don't know, not a lot of people have really heard about them, but they make soap and body wash, laundry detergent, and it's like a kind of like a carbon powder. You can put it directly on your face and hands. You can add it to water and dip your clothes in it, let it dry. You can dry coat your clothes with it in a tub. Reached out to them. They're going to send something, and then Brett, I'll let you touch base on B&B.
Yeah, B&B, he's sending over turkey calls, grunt tubes, and these grunt tubes are awesome. I got one. He sent me with my little care package not too long ago. But awesome calls from him. He's an unbelievable guy. He was jumping on board, ready to do it as soon as he
Good
heard
dude.
from Ron. And then I got with Exact Archery. If you've been listening to this podcast for a long time, you've heard their ad reads and everything else on here. Jake Wilkins, the owner of that, he's going to be sending over some broadheads. So if you haven't tried out Exact, you get your chance. I don't know if he's sending three blade or 4 blade over, but they'll be coming and something to look forward to. Myself, I'm gonna probably make some hats and shirts, just regular Blue River bow hunting hats and shirts. And I know some people would die to have some of that stuff because I don't make it very often, which supply and demand I'm kind of thinking about, you know. But one of these days I'll have a full line of stuff coming out, but right now I'm just kind of making me and everybody that's a part of it stuff. And we've sold some hats and stuff from time to time, but I don't know, I kind of just like it where it is right now. Once there's always room to grow in certain things, and I think me and Dylan have been doing really good at that lately, as trying to help our podcast and brands grow naturally, and making friends with people, and not being the kind of people you don't want to listen to. We want you to listen every week, even if it's just a podcast on something that we're setting up. We're excited about it, so we obviously want to push it. And I think the coolest thing, not a lot of people know about those bow hunting league camps yet. That's like the first year they've kind of setting all that up. And with you hosting it, that's freaking awesome in my book. And then I'm actually going to try to catch a couple more of them. I don't know exactly how that's going to work when you fill it out, like the deal for it. You got to pick like first choice, second choice, third choice. And some of those places I would be ecstatic if I got to go to a camp somewhere else. So looking forward to that aspect of it too, and kind of see how that plays out.
Yeah. And when I seen how fast this was growing, I was like, oh crap. There's a lot of killers coming, and I don't want to be caught off guard and end up with X amount of deer. So I've already been, Jordan is working diligently on finding families, because we want to find direct families. We don't want to just send it off, and, it may never even make it to a family that it could help out. Yeah. And, I know that we've got enough people backing it. And Jordan, even on the phone the other day, he's like, look, dude, if it gets to the point where like everybody's killed, we'll all just start cutting them up ourselves, and we'll start packing them.
It could be a late night.
It could be a late night, but I mean, think about that though. If in 5 years, it's like, oh, remember that time that we all stayed up until the sun was coming up, just
we cut up 25 deer.
Yeah. And it's not
That'd be a good problem to have, man.
That would be a good problem.
And you get all with everybody here and everybody doing it. It's not like it would be an awful thing. Like that would be fun, taking turns just cutting them, have somebody on the vacuum stick. And it's just one of those things where I'm excited to help families. I'm excited. I know it's going to be a lot of running for me as far as going back and forth, because I'm going to print some tags out. I'm going to call and double check with the game warden, but I'm going to print tags out like a gift form. It's going to have the hunter's name, hunter's license number, confirmation number, gifted to, and then have whoever sign it. That way, if they get pulled over, they say, hey, this guy, his name, license number, confirmation, look it up. He gave me the deer, both signatures on it. Boom.
Wonder if that's a terrible thought to have. Wonder if that's going to be a problem that we have with that many people. Somewhere along the lines, this gets out to the game wardens or DNR or something like that. You think that's something that could happen, where they just like show up, like, let's see everybody's stuff? I mean, it'd be
they
great,
might.
You know what I mean?
And if they do, everybody's going to be legal.
Oh, for sure. I don't play
100%. And I'm gonna have Ziploc baggies, and we're gonna pin the information of the deer to the deer, and then that way it's gonna be in a Ziploc baggie. So whoever comes and gets it, or if we go and drop it off, then all the information is going to be attached to that deer.
It's a great idea to have, for sure.
Oh, because I've already thought ahead of like, because we all may have to, if there's 10 people that kill a deer that's taken to the processor, we're probably gonna have to all drive and drop them off. But the ones that the guys are just coming to pick up, or the ones we're cutting up, hey, slap a damn stick-it note, on it, and put all the information in a Ziploc baggie. Boom, that deer's good to go.
Yeah, we could zip tie it to a leg or something. I'm sure we can figure that out. I usually have a whole stack of those in my truck this time of the year.
So I'm already thinking of, like, I've got it all, And then as far as picking up, I'm really good with the taxidermist or the processors around here. So I'll have payment or whatever, and y'all go pick the deer up. They'll let whoever pick it up as long as you're paying for it, and just I'll put it under people's name. I'll keep a good list of it, and we'll just rock and roll. Well, I'm gonna call and let them know kind of what's up to and what to expect for that Saturday night, because I would love to get everybody together and have a good picture, even if the deer aren't involved. Just a big, So we don't want to shine any light poorly on hunting or what we're doing with having a surplus of deer, sprawled out. So maybe one of those things where we take it for our personal, pictures, but as far as the hunt to help, it'll just be a big group of guys kind of around a fire. And I hope we really make a difference. I hope that this inspires people to help in any way that they can. I know that Maddie, she's 4 going on 5, and she was like, well, I really like this idea. I think we're going to do that for toys for Christmas.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
And so it's already, you're seeing her little wheels turning of like how to help families and how to do this. And if we just keep doing that, I mean, it can only grow.
Yeah. Lead by example for sure for your kids. Do you know what my son was doing before I came down here for this podcast? He was podcasting on his tablet and interviewing people, and what was kind of emotional. He was showing me his old ones that he had done in past, and one of them happened to be my father-in-law, who's not with us at the moment, in which you could just see it in his face. He didn't realize that was on there, and he was like, oh my gosh, you could just kind of see the emotion in him, which is pretty wild. But these kids, I definitely want to lead by example.
They're watching us, boys. They're watching us. Trust
outdoorsman, or just a human being in general. I want to be portrayed as somebody that you can look up to, and not somebody look at like, I don't know about that guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I would love for I've got a couple of people that have younger kids that are probably going to swing by this and let them be around, and they're going to let them come check out the deer, and they're going to let them, be around men, really, in a day and age of where that can get confusing in public school. So, and that's something I was like, yeah, absolutely. Swinging by, drop him off for a couple hours, let him hang out.
Yeah.
And he's going to learn a lot. He'll learn how to field dress a deer or how to cut one up more than likely. And it's just one of those things where, he comes up here and he helps work on the farm a little bit, and he's 10 and he just eats it up. I can work him, I mean, as hard as I can, and it's still the best day he's ever had. So it's just one of those things where, he goes back and he talks about it, and he goes to school and he talks about it. So, I think that I looked at some of the numbers and my Facebook stuff never does crazy, but it's at like well over 1,000 views of people sharing, and people I don't even talk to really much that are local sharing, hey, let's hop on this. And it's just cool to see everybody being like, well, we kind of got to help because that's cool, Yeah. And that's what we want. We don't want people to feel obligated. We want people to feel a part of something. So if they don't even hunt, they just swing by and do whatever. It's just cool to have.
For sure, man. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time, and really, it's kind of. I know it's the 18th of October, but in my book, this weekend is going to like really jumpstart my fall, because after that, it is serious. It is game time. Yeah. It's going to be spending hours and hours and hours in a tree stand or a saddle, multiple states, really grinding it out. And what a way to kick it off to do something like that, for sure.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I'm ready to get off that tractor seat. I'll tell you that. It's beating me to death.
I bet you are.
and with all this rain, it's like I hurry up to get it done, and then it rains, and by the time it dries up, it's ready to roll again. And it's hard to stay caught up. But with that being said, hopefully you and we've already got a buck down.
Yeah, that'd be
going
awesome.
into that. Leaves are going to be changing. Ron, I had lined you a spot up, but I know you'll be north of the border.
I know it hurts me, man. It hurts me. But yeah, that old velvet hunt falls on that fall bear trip. So
yeah, one of those days I'm gonna go with you on the bear trip, but I got to get that velvet buck under me first. Yeah, and we kind of started a little tradition last year. I mean, I hunted the morning, and by noonish or so, we had my truck back down to the lake. back down. Me and the kiddo and him and my wife were
Mhm.
swimming in the lake, and it was 95 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great tradition to start, man.
For sure. But you just got back from the spring bear. How did everything turn out up there? How was
I
your trip?
did. Oh man. I tell you what, people don't understand until they experience something like that. I went up there and didn't even hunt. I went up there and ran a camera and did some fishing. And I tell you, and you mentioned it earlier, a lot of times running that camera is just like you're hunting. Sometimes let
Absolutely.
me back up a little bit. This was my first film somebody hunt. Now, I've been running around self filming, for a while. I'll film my kids a little bit here and there, but as far as like trying to get some good footage for an episode, this was like my first time filming a hunter. And man, let me tell you, I was jacked up probably more than this hunter was. But yeah, we just recently got back. We had two hunters in camp, Victor's son Antone, and Victor brought a buddy, Randy. I was filming Randy. Victor
That's
was
awesome. I
filming.
love Randy.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
Oh yeah.
But Vic was filming Antone, and then of course Chris Lavarge lives up there. He's about 6 hours or so. He comes over when we're up there for a few days and hangs out in camp. If we need him to, he'll run a camera. But this time he just hung out in camp, cooked some breakfast for us, and he did a bunch of fishing. But yeah, so day 2 or day 3? Antone shot a slob, probably 300-pounder.
Wow.
Bow, his first bow kill he shot a bear before, but this is his first bow kill. And then so I'll let Randy tell you his story, but he got
we should have Randy on, actually.
You should have him on.
Randy is like a living legend around these parts where I live. He used to run the bow shop where I got my first bow ever back in the day. Super good dude for sure.
Yeah, he's actually just he just tuned our buddy up, Michael, that's coming up this fall. He went up last fall. He's a Muncie firefighter. He just tuned him up, got him all a bunch of pointers and tips, watched him shoot, got him shoot, because Michael killed one last year, but with a gun, he's going to try with his bow. But it's one of those trips, if you've never been and you haven't experienced something like that, I encourage you, find somebody that can get you up there. It's an experience it's like a once in a lifetime thing. If you've never experienced being in the middle of the bush, no cell service, no TV, the only power you have is a generator when you need to charge batteries. You're really in the middle of nowhere. And we talked a little bit about it earlier, like your roundup. It gives you a time to reset, man, recharge, and just come back and tackle what we have to tackle every day. Work, family, all those good things. Mm-hmm. We get in there. We're in camp for 7 days, so we got 7 hunts. We normally sleep in a little bit. We'll wake up, hang out on camp a little bit. We'll fish during the day and hunt at night. We'll shoot around during the day and freshen up the barrels and bait and all that stuff. But so you're in camp. You get 7 good solid days of fishing and hunting. Come back 10 pounds heavier. we eat really good while we're up there. The camaraderie, the friendship, the bonds, the campfires. The spring's tough because by the time you're done hunting in the evening, get back, it's already probably 10 o'clock because it stays light so long. Dang. But you don't want to go to bed, man.
Oh, no.
So you're up, you haven't eaten because you've been on a stand 4, 5, 6 hours, who knows? So you eat, sit around a campfire, telling stories. For this trip, it was cool because Randy was new to me. So another new guy you get to know, and you just bond with the guys you've been going a little bit more. But we had 100% opportunity on bear. So that's good. Can't beat that. Agnes River Outfitters, can't touch them. Jody and the folks up there that run that outfit. It's like going and visiting a family member you haven't seen in a while. It's really not even like an outfitter. Jody comes down, he hangs out in camp with you. He brings his boat, he does some fishing with you, cooks you a meal one night at least, some moose stew. So that's a tradition. They'll come down and have dinner with you one night. But yeah, it was a good trip. We're heading back up this fall. We'll have Randy's going back up. Michael will be hunting. Jake and Chris is hunting this time. So we'll have 4 hunters, 3 guys on camera, 1 guy will be self-filming. So should be another good time.
Yeah, sounds awesome, man. What about season preview for you for whitetails? What do you got going on this year, or what are you trying to dive into?
Well, I mean, you guys know I've been chatting with you guys a little bit. It's tough for me again this year. Born and raised in Michigan, lived and hunted here all my life. I grew up hunting pretty much public land, so there's an abundance of that. But I got really tired of fighting for public land. So for about 20 plus years, I had a nice lease I was on. But when I moved out of Michigan back in, what was it, 2022, 21, 22, I let that lease go. So I wasn't planning on moving back to Michigan. This will be my second hunting season back. I don't have anywhere to hunt, so other than public land. So my highlights are obviously this roundup's going to be a blast for me. I'm probably going to hook up, hopefully with you, Brett, hit Missouri.
Yeah, I think we're going to do Missouri there in November sometime.
I got my second point for Kansas this year. So next year or two, I'll go back to Kansas.
Yeah, we could plan that next year because I'll have 2 next year. I was planning on trying to draw it next year.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I'll be going back down to Vicks for muzzle in Indiana this year. So I at least have 3 out-of-state trips planned. Maybe might try to hit some Ohio public, but we'll see. I still got some coals in the fire here. I'm turning a burn, I'm catching farmers on their tractors every day. Most of the land around me is locked up, but hopefully something pops up.
Well, you'll have your Tennessee license too. That way, if you're out,
yeah.
That way, if you're out and about and want to swing through for a weekend,
I do plan on coming down there more than just for this roundup.
Yes.
So mainly, I'm going to do some property searching while I'm there and poke around, do some hunting while I'm down there too.
So. Yeah, we can hunt we can hunt for deer while you're hunting for land.
That's a funny story. That's actually how I moved down there. We always kind of wanted to live down there, and one of the first times I hunted down there was with Vic. We went down to McMinnville, and we were driving around looking for turkey, and I was making them stop for all the for sale signs. And then that next year, I actually moved down there. So it's a dangerous thing, really. So I hope my wife's prepared to put a for sale sign in the front.
Right? Yeah.
Well, if there's anybody in the state of Michigan that can help point Ron in a direction, maybe somebody's got a piece somewhere, or can help him out with a lease, some leasing information, anything to help our Uncle Ron out, man. Help us out for sure with that.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Yeah, no problem, man. Well, boys, it's been a good one. Laid the groundwork for Hunt to Help. Hopefully, it gets some people thinking about it. It's still early on, so maybe they're thinking about it and not really sure yet, and trying to at least try to work towards coming down and doing everything with this. But definitely looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Yep. And getting if you're interested, let us know so we can get you in the group, because some of the cabins that people are thinking about renting, you're probably talking about under $80 a night to come in and hunt, potentially. And, talk about having a deer camp and then bouncing back to your deer camp. You know what I mean? So it'll be a really good time. October, going to be hit or miss, late October. I've had some Halloweens that I've been so bundled up that you couldn't even go trick or treating. And we've had some where, you had to go no costume. You just had to kind of free bird it around because it was so hot. So I'm hoping we catch one of those nice cold fronts, a good push, and I hope to make a difference with this.
Absolutely.
Sure. Well, tell everybody where they can find you, Ron.
Well, Facebook, obviously, Ron Howard. Just look for not the actor, the guy with the ugly face and the beard. Rustic Fireman on Facebook too. You can find me there. It's my woodworking page. Instagram, same thing. Ron Howard, firefighter, Rustic Fireman. Anything you type in that says Ron Howard, Rustic Fireman, or something like that, you'll be able to find me. Awesome. And then, of course, Crimson Trail, YouTube and Carbon TV. Speaking of bear, we're about to start dropping our bear hunts. One of them actually just dropped. It was like kind of a preview last spring. A lot of hunting and or a lot of fishing, and more of the camaraderie side of it. There was no kill on that episode. Pretty good episode, but the bear hunts are going to start dropping here.
For sure. Looking forward to that. Dylan, you got anything before we wrap it up?
No, just like I said, we will be releasing details as we get them. We're trying not to flood it with, if we get one detail, we're not going to release it. We're going to wait until we have adequate amount of details built up. But we've got a date set, so at least the people know when the dance is.
Right. Well, we'll be back here again next week, same time, same place, and we'll see you then.